Good day again, and this is welcome back again to MandelSoft Plays SimCity 4. And today I want to show you some trick we use at NORO first, because I wanted to build some bridges where I can't really build them normally. So let's see, we go to the plugins folder. What you see in my plugins folder is that you have some link here. This is not the trick where I was talking about, but if you see here, this is actually a shortcut. Or at least it looks like it, but it is actually not really a shortcut. It's actually more it's actually what's called a symbolic link, and a symbolic link is unlike a shortcut. The game reads it as just as a directory. So in fact, I can just put in this symbolic link, and the game will have no problem with reading this thing, and it just acts like it's just completely there, while the original directory is actually here outside of the plugins folder. And this is a way just for my personal organization that I can quickly switch between different plugin sets, because I also have a personal plugin set plus error textures, which don't suit in the it's not suitable for the NORO project. But okay, the trick that I actually wanted to see is the sea drainage trick. What you do is to build some bridges. What I actually do is that I lower the sea level, so I can build NEM overpasses there. And when I'm done, I'll just raise the sea level again, and then you have some perfectly functional bridges. This has to be done outside of the game, because there is a code in the game that does cheat in the game that does that, but when you set the sea level back again, it destroys everything, and that's what ruins it. So in fact, we are going to do it manually, outside of the game. Okay, we need to do is that we need to go to a terrain mod. I think it was its properties high altitude. It's Southern Valley terrain mod, and let's see, which file do we need? Is it here? Alright. You need to go to an action player file with group ID. Just note it down: 88CD66E9, and with instance ID of 00000, all zeros, and at the end 1. This is the terrain property file. Is what you want to need, and you need specifically the sea level entry. And in this case, I'll just set it to 20 meters lower, to 230. Usually it's 250. Save, and then we're going to start up the game. Right. There we go. Loading, and in the meantime, while it's loading, I will just check if we have some comments here. This will take a while to load. It usually takes 2 or 3 minutes before I load the game. Hey Nico, you're also watching. Nice. Well, since there's not much going on here, let's see what the Centropolis chat has to say. It's also not much. And as you see, the game is loading in the background. Yeah. Well, with the set sea level trick, you don't see it in the region view, because the region view does get updated by only if you enter the city and exit the city. So you won't see that the sea level has drained immediately, but only if you have lowered the city, you see that the sea level has changed. But it's quite a nice exploit. It's something we use in NORO just to build bridges at otherwise impossible locations, or with networks that are otherwise impossible to build bridges for. For instance, this is the way we could get a Real Highway 8C bridge. And this is impossible in a normal game. Because, as you may know, with bridges you can not lay them side by side. There is something in the game code that prevents that. And therefore the wider Real Highway networks can't have bridges in in the normal sense. But with this trick, you can have bridges with these networks. And this is also applicable to NWM networks if they had overpasses, which they don't have yet, but we are planning to make them. Only time will tell. And it's still loading. Yeah, it takes long, and if I start complaining about how long it takes, then it will usually say it will load up instantly. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it has to load it. I got jillion of plugins. Let's see if I just wanted to do Control Delete to see how the process is going. It already shows the SimCity 4 cursor. Ah, there it is. We're going to open Tel HQ again. Here we go to look at what this water drain that is actually doing to the city. Still loading. Tweeting custom loading messages. Tweeting the latest status of the city tile loading status. It says in Dutch. Checking again. No, not much change. Right. There are other things to note. Well, I thought last time I checked the city, the railway was starting to act funny. Maybe this is also the case. Then I have just to re-click all the railway pieces again because they were invisible. It was really weird. But as you see, also the city is quite interesting. Ah, it is loaded. See if the railway is acting finicky. Yes, it's acting finicky. If you can see, you see that there's this entire railway is invisible. But if you click with it with the railway construction tool, you can build it right there. And also, you see that there's no water here. You see that all water here is drained. It's all gone. All gone down the drain, disappeared. Maybe there is some left somewhere. No, there's nothing left. But this is what happens when you set the water level 20 meters lower. But after I fix this railway again, I will just show you what we can do by using this trick. Right. Right. This is repaired. Let's see. Well, I wasn't able to build a bridge here. This bridge was something causing that the bridge could not be constructed. But what we can do is, yeah, I have to build. Where were the? Oh, wait, they were in this menu. we have to use a ground lifter. This one is not 50. Oh wait, 50 meters was too much. So we need a ground lifter of 7.5 meters to level 1. I think this one is a bit close, so we have to level this again. Right. Now what we gonna do is, yeah, this bay look, and we're going to drop it by 15 meters. I have to do this because there is no level 1 to level 2 transition yet, which would be useful in this situation. Right, just make it 2 by 2 on this island. And then we have 7. Just to make sure this slope is okay, I just raised this by 15 meters here. Nope. And there the game was going finicky again. But let's see. Level this out again. But we wanted a slope like. Oops, no. Just level it out with the light rail. Then we have a slope like this. And then we're going to use the new non-draggable overpasses. 2 level on slope and single level on slope, and here 2 level on slope. And then road. I need an avenue. Yeah, avenue. Right. And then between these 2 points, to bridge the gap. And you see, now I can have to build a bridge here, but usually this was water. This was a river, so here you just see that we have actually managed to build a NAM overpass here and use it as a functional bridge. Right. Here we also had the problem that we couldn't build a bridge here, but now let's see what we can do if we use this trick here. And we have a bridge here. And this bridge is not what I really want here. I mean, it doesn't look that fancy, so I would like to use another solution there. First I'll level this out, and then I will drop this. Drop by 7.5. No, that's racing. I want to drop it by 7.5 meters. Maybe it helps with. The grid was off. And having the grid on here really helps in this situation. So, maybe 1 tile further so that you have these auto turn lanes here. Usually not a fan of them, but oh well. Maybe I think they will get replaced by something else we have in store here with the NAM team. Not going to tell, but it's really not really neat when it comes out. I forgot to turn on the music. glitchy. Right. Ah, there we have some music. Oops, it was too left on slope. Right, and could play a tulip here, but not yet. I think there was one bridge left here. Yeah, here. That's in a too close proximity. So we need this distance to have that smooth curve working again. There goes that intersection. We need 2 laps again. A. T intersection, and we need some cosmetics pieces. There's new 2 lap pieces. Right. It's quite okay. Well, do we need more bridges here? Some impossible ones? I don't particularly like this bridge because if you zoom out, it reverts back to the original textures, and I don't like it with the textures set in place. So I demolished this one. Let's get the smooth curve in place again. I think also we need to level this out first. Let's see, and then we drop it by 50 meters. Because I want to use level 2 on slope here. Bummer. So, you know, width transition again to get this one fixed again. And then we go to the height transitions. Flex high transitions. Alright. Sacrifices one tile, I've almost forgot. With transitions again, and yeah, doesn't want to get back in there. Hey, wait. ID. Some fillers to create a stop here. Then we have another one. Filler. Create another stop. Right. There we have. And then we can place this one here. This game, man. This game. It can do the weirdest things. I have another ID. Just a sec. Let's see. You know those new elevated road transitions? Wait, they start off as a real highway 2 stops, so maybe we could exploit that property. And then we go to the fillers. Level 2, the high filler, and near the other side to create a stop. And then, although there's a slight bump in this, no, there's a slight bump in this bridge. To correct it first, but you may get a general ID. Okay. Is the wrong direction. Work. 15 down. Okay, right. Let's start the fillers first. It's more. I think that's the most practical approach. Fillers first. Creating the stops. Oh wait, what? Stops was not a good idea. And this, and then we can create the stops. And then we have a width transition again. I play SimCity largely on improvisation mode. Now why does it want to fit there? It did want to fit previously. Why not now? Something in the way? Ah, that's why. It doesn't want to level. Ah. This is getting annoying. Sometimes this game just does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't. And at the times it doesn't, you have to just be creative to create alternatives until it works. See what are our alternatives. I think the other alternative was if the high transitions again. It's not level enough again. Will soon be over. And look, I think if I fix this bridge, I'm going to set the sea level back. Just placing some railway here, just to make sure this stays level. Going to prepare this for the curve. Put in planes later on. Yeah, I'll just out too. And then we go to place this curve. Some fillers. If you remove the starters from these, they like to revert to their original height. That's what makes them a bit irksome to use. Cumbersome. Wait a minute, if I put in this width transition first... No wait, that would work. That wouldn't work. Maybe now it works. Yes, one more tower margin. Wait, I forgot a filler. Is it level? Is it again complaining about leveling? Yeah, it's again complaining about leveling. I give up on this one. I just build a. I think I'll just reset the game and then build a bridge back. So let's see. It was a bit soft. Right, just putting the curve here. Right, okay, I will just do a quick save. And then I'll exit the game. Right, city saved. Right, then we go back to the terrain properties. And we set the sea level back to 250. Just to show what we have just done. Well, we had to go through all this trouble. And in the meantime, we can just see everything is meaning. Well, it happens in the chat, and it's not much. And there we go again, loading, loading, loading. Again, this takes a while, but probably not that much because I already opened the game once in this session. And usually it loads a lot quicker. See? Okay, to load. I just did a quick save so you don't see an update of the video view, and usually this is also significantly faster if you have loaded the game at least once. Yeah, it's just patience. Especially the first session, it takes quite a long time, and I think it's almost ready. And if it's right, you will immediately spot the difference. That with the water back again is that you immediately see a place where there's water, but there was previously just completely dry. Yeah, right. See, there is already. You see, there's water. All right. Slopes. I need to. Why does it let me build a bridge? I want a bridge here. This game. What do I need? A wider gap? Maybe we really need a wider gap. Okay, wider gap. Want to build here, but not here. Does it want to build any bridge? What if we lower this? this city has some problems with certain spots where they don't allow me to build bridges. That's really annoying. Now we have to build some tight line to curve here. Right. Now this bridge back. Oh, just forgot the transition almost. Almost forgot. And let's see what we have here. Look! Yes, look at it. We have some bridges here. Especially here at this spot. And you see what all the trouble we've been through, what it has achieved. See that we have a bridge, perfectly working bridge here. It's pretty funny, this method. And we have also built bridges like these with this method. It's quite effective. So those trees get in the way in the most awkward spots. But yeah, I'm just planting some trees here and there. There's not much city development in this episode, but this was one episode just showing more of the tricks I use when building this. And this is one of the more advanced tricks in NORO. Because it doesn't, you do need some knowledge about how this game works and how some certain files are doing. Let's see if there are some suggestions have been there. No, not much. Take a roundabout where the avenues meet. Here there's no room because of this starter and its curve. So no, we can't make a roundabout here. And at this point, well, I just want to limit the number of roundabouts in the city a bit, because it's more American orientated, and I think Americans, are not used to roundabouts. I mean, you see them a lot in Europe, or especially the UK, where about almost every interchange with secondary roads is one with a roundabout. But in the USA, nah, they have different constructions, usually with just intersections with lights. And at some point, roundabouts do help, but they only help if you don't have that much traffic. If you have some limited amount of for a limited amount of traffic, roundabouts do really well. But if you have high amounts of traffic, then the roundabout is like a snake biting in its tail, and then it becomes a victim of its own success, because roundabouts are self-regulating systems, and if they are getting crowded, this self-regulating system is actually turning into chaos. So there are pros and cons, but the self-regulating aspect also causes that it flows more efficiently when there's not so much traffic, because traffic doesn't really have to wait for each other like they do on the intersection with lights. So it actually really depends on how your roundabout is being used, if you actually if you want to investigate if you actually want to use a roundabout or not. Maybe this is a nice spot for a park. I don't know what I want to do with the rest. Planting here, there, and I think I will call it a day then. Alright, I think we'll leave it to there. Thank you all for watching, and maybe see you next time. I will put this on for those who are watching live. I will put this on YouTube too for anyone who has missed it, and if you would like to watch this episode again. So thank you and goodbye.